Young man, do not be in a hurry to ask something you would regret. You think life is hard now? Try living one without a father.
He's no father, and I want him dead.
I think that Courage came to this project very prepared. What I do with each of the directors is I spend about 10 days with them, sort of walking out through the shots, why they're using the shots they're using, looking at their lookbook and seeing their general approach. And I found Courage to be very prepared at every point of encounter. And ultimately, I think that it shows in the work that he's done.
It's a very rare thing to see in Nollywood where a veteran looks at a young one and says, okay, I want to mentor you to the point of financing your first movie. So to me, it's like a dream come true. It's almost like a miracle because here's an elderly person that just decided to like see someone, believe in them, and then decide to mentor them in a way that they would not just teach us how to make film, they would finance it up to the very end. So for me, I think like it's a very rare opportunity, and I'm very, very grateful to have someone like Steve Gukas and Mr. Dotun Olakunrin to see me and feel like, okay, he has the potential, and we're going to back him up to his final stage. So I'm very happy. So I've always loved working with child actors because I just feel like they are basically the next generation. So finding the right kid for this movie was the biggest challenge for me because I understand that the story is centered around a young boy, which is very rare in Nollywood to find a movie where the lead actor is a child.
This film, it seems like it's very emotional. So was it tough for you to play alive?
Some scenes were a bit tough because, they made me clean the gutter, and I've never done that before, but I think I was able to push through, and I think I really did a good job on this film.
Was this your first time in Port Harcourt?
Oh yes, it was my first.
Can you describe what the experience was like for you? You know, you went to a new place. How did you handle all of that change?
I had to really fit in. It was a bit confusing at first because it's a different part of Nigeria. I'm only used to being in Lagos, but I think it was a really wonderful experience. I ate bole and fish, which I really think is very famous there. So yeah, it was very enjoyable.
What was your first impression of Kosi, and how did that change over time?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, the director didn't want me to see Kosi, and he didn't want Kosi to see me. So we had this, so Kosi could have this genuine anger, hatred towards me. Boro did not really have that relationship with his kid. It's possible that Boro thought he had the relationship with his kid because growing up, all fathers would think they had relationships with their kids, and all the kind of relationship fathers had with kids were more about discipline and not necessarily discipline, but more of how do I put it? More of it's a barbaric way of raising children. So in the end, children will not be able to communicate with parents and question fathers for what they do. So it's almost like you growing up as a child, you can't question your father. Your father is doing something wrong. You can't call him to order or to question him, or you can't dialogue. Fathers in those days would think that they had relationship with their sons, and so that's the same way Boro thought he had the relationship with his son, but no, that's not it. There was no relationship.
What is the relationship between Elijah and Bossman?
There is that father figure relationship. You have the father, blood father, but then the blood father is not really fathering, as we would say. Okay, and Bossman seems to fill that void in a certain way, and the truth is, being a close friend to the father, even though, some water has gone under the bridge, and also being one who loves the mother, there's that affinity towards the child. So Bossman is more or less the father Kosi would love to have, and that is what the relationship is all about.
Kill Boro is one of our projects, like all of the other projects that our company has made. We try to make it feel and look as real as possible, There's something in Port Harcourt, there's something in the scenery, there's something in the locations, the sets, the people, the structure and all that. So you couldn't get that in Lagos. You couldn't get that with Build a Set. We're actually shooting in real locations with real people and all that.
For me, playing the character was a bit challenging in the sense that it was, the actor's tool is his body. So using my body as a tool to play the character Jaguar was challenging in the sense that it's been a long time. And we had to play, around the gambits of the willing suspension of disbelief. Do the right things, get people to understand that it's not just acting, but again, we're acting anyway. So the script was good, the character was interesting, and in as much as I had to speak Pidgin English again, it was a Pidgin English that was laced with parochial sentences. And then we had to move from the norm of it being parochial to diffusing it to be a street Pidgin English. And then don't forget that the South and Port Harcourt, we have a particular style of Pidgin that is not very peculiar to any other person. So those slangs and those particular verbose and the lingual effect. You know, we had to go into all of those things to be able to portray the character and also make that pidgin a bit more broken for those who are not from Port Harcourt to also understand it.
When you hear the name Gentle, what do you think? So you're going to be a very calm guy that will wow you, that will hold you to the edge of your seat. That's all I'm going to tell you.
I absolutely enjoyed myself. I absolutely enjoyed getting into that character. I've actually never been in that sort of character before, but then this was my first, and it was like absolutely, I loved it. Every moment, I just loved being that person. Yeah.
This was shot in Port Harcourt. Can you give us any slang that you learned while filming?
So, Abobi, how fun. Abobi. I think that's my favorite. That was like the first that I learned, but yeah, Abobi.
Men mounts. Yes, I remember that one. Boros man said that a lot. Yeah, men mounts. Yeah, and Abobi. I remember that too.